Travel and Tours page on YouTube, so you can check that as well. This webinar will be live on YouTube. So I'm handing over to Daniel. Daniel, we are your audience for tonight.
Hi, thank you, everyone. I hope I can be heard. It's a pleasure for us and for every one of us from Elidor Travel and Tours that we present to you today. And like Jeremy mentioned, I am very excited. If you joined us, you are in the right place. If it is your first time joining any webinar of this kind, talking about Ghana, we are glad you're here. And I can see a few familiar names who I have been with. I want to acknowledge all of them, those who have joined us on our tours before in past years and are here. I want to say I salute you. We thank God for this evening. It's evening in Ghana, and I'm sure it's afternoon wherever you are, if you are joining us from the US. I also want to acknowledge our CEO and my partner, Mr. George Aiba, who's also on the call as well. And so we will start right in. I have like, let's say about 30 to 45 minutes to do this presentation tonight or this afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from, to do this. And I have been wanting to do this for a very long time, to tell the truth about Ghana trip. And so by the time we are done, you should have all the knowledge and information of why I think Ghana should be your next destination if you have not yet been. So let's dive right in. So my name is Daniel, and like I mentioned, I am also called Kofi. In Ghana, everybody has a day name. I was born in Ghana, raised in Ghana, and Kofi is a male born on a Friday. Like Jerry mentioned, I am the Director of Tours and Business Development at Elidor Travel and Tours. And I was born in Accra. Accra is the capital of Ghana. And my parents come from the Eastern region. Eastern region is one of the regions we have in Ghana. And I schooled in Ghana. I had my basic education in Ghana. When I was in high school, I took a bit of history. I was a history student. And then I have my first degree in theater arts as well. Then I moved, had my second degree in business administration. But one of the things that surprised me right after university, my first degree, I started working with the tour company. And from 2012, I joined this tour company, and my first tour to the dungeons changed everything. It changed all the stories and anything about how I knew Ghana and how I perceived I knew Ghana myself. The reason why is because when I connected with people from the diaspora, because that was the first time I had an encounter with the diaspora to go on a tour with them. And we went to the dungeons. And in the dungeons, the Cape Coast Castle, which we'll talk more about that, their reaction and everything changed me. Even though it changed them, it also changed me. And I knew this is what I wanted to be. And this is what I wanted to do. And so from that on, I have always been providing real, authentic, and unforgettable tours. And that is what moves me. My passion is to tell the African story, is to connect people to their roots. I believe that Ghana is a way to connect others to the world. And for me, one of the things that inspires me is that if I don't get to travel the whole world, I get the world coming to me. And so it's really, really a privilege for me to be doing this. And I love this favorite African proverb that says that if the lion fails to tell a story, the tales of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. And so I see myself as a storyteller. And that is what has moved me to be doing this all these years. And so I've been in the business, but when COVID hit, I left my former business to join this business because I was invited to join to set up this business. And Elidor Travel and Tours has been one of the things that we've been doing. The main company, or the parent company, is an HR company. But then when I joined, we started the travel wing. And over the years, we've been organizing tours, organizing groups, and people from all over to experience Ghana. And we see ourselves as the gateway to Ghana and West Africa. And so we create tailored packages that meet people, that connects them to their roots. We are end-to-end premium travel experience where we provide from the itinerary all the way to when you land to Ghana. We take care of your accommodations, your tours, everything. We have a guided tour of everything that you want to experience. Apart from that, we believe in connecting to the people where we go. And so we are driven by a social purpose that wherever we go, we need to connect. Tourism is about giving back to the people. And so that's what we want to do. But before we dive right in, I want us to do a quick poll. If you are joining us, I want to know about you. You could put it in the comment section. There's a poll that will be running right now, and you could just let us know if Ghana or is your first time, or Africa have been your first time before. Have you ever been to Africa before? Is this your first time? Anything, just you can just select it and let us know, and then we will continue. Yes, I see people are planning. I see people are trying to gather. This is their first time. I have some people, 2 people who said they've been to Ghana multiple times, some once. It's good. It's good to have all of you here. And I believe by the time you are done, you would have a good experience. And so thank you again for joining us. And if you are somebody that you were dragged here, I want to let you know that by the time we are done, you will be excited and you will be checking your phones or booking a flight right to come to Ghana. And so thank you for joining us. So we will continue. So today's agenda, we are going to look at a few things. So why Ghana is so important? Okay, I'm going to share a few information about this country that even most people and even some Ghanaians don't know. We'll be debunking some myths, some stereotypes, some things that you have actually heard Western media talk about Ghana. We are going to talk about that as well. We would also be talking about what makes Ghana different from other destinations. There are other destinations, I'm sure those who have gone other places, you've gone there because of some information that you've heard, some stories that we heard, but we will talk about what makes Ghana different. We will also explore what you can do when you come to Ghana as well. We will look at top 5 experiences you can't miss. I'm sure those who have joined us or joined me on a tour before can attest to some of the places that we will see as we go along. We'll explore places to stay. Definitely when you come to Ghana, you need to stay somewhere. And so we'll look at the various options that are available when you come to stay, when you come to Ghana. We'll also look at a sample itinerary to give you an idea of when you come to Ghana, how things flow. And so that anytime you decide to come, you have an idea of what you want to do. So we'll look at that as well. And then before we leave, I have an exclusive offer I want to give those who have joined us here on this webinar. And so stick and stay tuned. And at the end, you will get to know what we are talking about. So let's talk a bit about Ghana. You see here, right, is the Ghana map. And Ghana is a very small country. We are a country of about 32 million people. And we speak over 77 dialects, all connected. And these are 16 regions that you see. If you look at the map of Ghana, you see different regions depicted by different shades of colors. And that tells you how unique Ghana is, very diverse. But the interesting thing is we are all able to come to Ghana together to form this unique country. So why Ghana? Why Ghana? So Ghana is the first sub-Saharan African country to gain independence. In 1957, 6th of March, Ghana gained independence from the British. And we were led by our first president, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. From that time to now, Ghana has been a star and a beacon of hope to many Africans in the continent and even to the diaspora. So let's see some more facts that will surprise you when we talk about Ghana. So one of the things that you need to know, like I mentioned, Ghana is the first sub-Saharan African country to gain independence. And we are a very stable, political, democratic country. Over the years, Ghana has transitioned from one government to the other. If you look at anywhere on the continent, Ghana's democracy is one of the best that you could have. And so when you're coming to Ghana, you know that you are coming to a very peaceful country. Ghana boasts of one of the most stable democratic countries you have. And this makes it very attractive to investors, to people who want to relocate, and people who want to retire to Ghana, this is also one of the places that you want to be. Ghana is very welcoming. I can tell you for a fact, not because I'm born in a Ghanaian or I'm a Ghanaian, but to let you know that you will not find any hospitable, friendly people anywhere than Ghanaians. Ghanaians are renowned for their hospitality towards visitors in general and diaspora. The country has relatively low violent crime rates compared to regional neighbors, creating a comfortable environment for many. Ghana is ranked #1 in West Africa. Even if you compare the Global Peace Index, Ghana is ranked #1. Ghana's stability and peace and safety, even in other places, is not like that. And so we'll say Ghana is one of the best places. One other important thing that you need to know is that Ghana is home to over 10 plus UNESCO World Heritage Sites. In the shot, you see a picture of one of the UNESCO heritages, the Cape Coast Castle, and Ghana is home to them. Do you know that the coast of Ghana, from the east to the west, is dotted with over 50 plus forts and castles that were built by the Europeans? And this tells you how Ghana is. Again, do you know that Ghana is actually situated close to the center of the world? If you take your map or take the world map, okay, the longitude and the latitude, they intersect 5 degrees north. And the closest country to that point is Ghana. And so when somebody is coming to Ghana, we say that person is coming to the center of the world. And so we say you are welcome to the center of the world. Another important thing to know is that the Year of Return initiative and the Pan-African identity of Ghana has made it very open. In 2019, Ghana marked 400 years since the first enslaved Africans arrived in America. And I'm sure all over in the Americas and the Caribbean, this news went over. And so if you've not heard about it, Ghana celebrated the Year of Return. But currently, we are actually moving beyond the Year of Return. So we have what we call Beyond the Return. And so the government of Ghana has made this, which has been inviting many people to come into the country. And so this is one of the beautiful things that you could ever find. So the Year of Return initiative welcomes the global diaspora to their ancestral home. Another important thing to know is that Ghana has streamlined residence programs in Ghana. So Ghana offers various things that you can come. We offer the right of abode. I'm sure a lot of people will be asking, how can I get that? And we've had calls and people always talking about how we could do that. And so one of the important things is that the government of Ghana has made it very, very easy. Once you go through the channel, if you're a diaspora coming to Ghana, you are able to come to Ghana, have business in Ghana, reside in Ghana, and all of that. So this is one of the things that we'll do here in Ghana. Interesting also is to know is that there's a growing economy and investment opportunity. Let me tell you, Ghana is the hub for the African investment or trade hub. And so it has been an important place for many people who are looking to invest on the continent to come. As one of West Africa's growing economy with a growing tech scene, real estate, business-friendly policies, Ghana offers tangible economic opportunities in sectors from agric to digital innovations. And so we have opened up the country for people to come in. The government of Ghana has this agency called the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. They are currently Ghana Investment Promotion Authority, and they are responsible for helping people who want to invest in Ghana. And so if you are coming to Ghana, there are various opportunities and various things why you should come. And so this is the time. If you don't come, you will miss out. And one of the things I tell people when I take them on tour is that Africa is on the rise and Ghana is on the rise. It is either you are part or you are not part. Do you want to be seen as the people or the person who helped build Africa? You can take it from me. The Americas, the Europe were built on the backs of our ancestors who were taking. And so we need them back to Ghana to build what it is. And so it's either you are part or you are not part. And just to add another important thing that some people might miss, Ghana is an English-speaking country. Okay, and so it's one of the biggest opportunity for people. Being an Anglophone country, it eliminates the language barriers and everything. Like I mentioned, we have various ethnic groups. However, English is the official language, so we are able to communicate when you come around, when you move around, and that is one of the most important things. So now let's look at some of the myths that you hear a lot about Africa, and we'll look at it in terms of reality. Over the years, Western media have been portraying Africa as a jungle. I believe you've heard that. And among other false and negative narratives. That is why I believe we need to set the record straight for everyone to know the reality on the ground. Okay. And like I mentioned, my favorite quote is that until the tales of the hunt, okay, until the lion tells the stories, the tales of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. And so we have to tell our story. We need to let people know what the reality is on the ground. I believe there are people who have been to Ghana, and on this call at the end, I will share some people experience of Ghana, and it will amaze you. So what are some of the myths that you hear? One of the myths you hear is that Africa is dangerous. Like when they say Africa, they don't single that, but you should know that Africa is a continent with over 54 nations. And Ghana, Botswana, Nigeria, Togo, Namibia, Kenya, South Africa, Rwanda, all of these are various unique countries in their own way. Okay, and some of these countries have lower crime rates compared even to the US or to Europe. And that's one of the things that people do not know, that anytime there's something, you said, oh, I'm going to Africa. Oh, there is this thing. Recently, we heard about Ebola. Okay, Ebola was all the way in Congo. It was not here in West Africa, or it was not here in Ghana. And so sometimes people would bunch the whole thing up because of what Western media is telling people. Okay, so this is one of the things that we want to debunk and demystify. We need to know that Africa is a big continent with 54 different countries. Okay, one of the important things that you need to know, and the myth that you will hear, is that there's lack of modern infrastructure and amenities. I can tell you, we have malls. Okay, we have a big airports. We have fiber internet. We have Ubers. Okay, we have big things happening in Ghana, and it will surprise you. Major cities have 5-star hotels and all of that. And so Ghana is not a jungle that they have been preaching. It's a very well-developed country. Yes, there might be some places that are developing, and all these places come together to bring out the uniqueness and the culture of Ghana. All right. Another myth that you hear is there are wild animals and diseases everywhere. Like I mentioned, to talk about the corona, we talk about COVID. You know, during the COVID time, I can tell you a lot of Western media were talking how Africa is going to suffer. But you and I know that Africa was the least hit by COVID. Okay. And anytime people talk about Africa, they said, oh, we're going to see lions, we're going to see that. You will not find wild animals on the streets of Ghana or on the streets of Nigeria. Okay. The wild animals, they live in reserves and parks, just like in any modern places. That's where you see them. And so when you come to Ghana, when you come to Africa, when you come to anywhere on the continent, be rest assured that you are not going to see wild animals who will be chasing you unless you want to experience a safari. And so you go to a safari park. Okay. Another thing you need to know that travel is expensive and complicated. Yes, if you do not plan well, it becomes expensive. However, if you plan well, Africa or even Ghana is less expensive comparing to going to Europe. Okay, options are available now. They have many flight options, direct options that are coming. Delta is flying from DC, from Atlanta as well. We have United Airlines that are flying. We have different airlines that are flying directly to Ghana. And so it is not as expensive and complicated as it used to be. Okay. And then lastly, Africa is all poverty and villages. Anytime I hear this, I laugh, and I'm sure you might be laughing as well. No, you will see big, luxurious skyscrapers and all of that in Ghana. You see, it features diversity. We have very 5-star hotels, 5-star restaurants, different classes of that. We have all of that on the continent. And so those myths that you hear, this is the time for us to put them and tell people right in their faces, that is not true. That is not Africa. That is not Ghana. We need to tell them that. Okay. Then we'll move on. Ghana versus the competition. We want to look at why choose Ghana over other destinations. Okay. A lot of people would want to go to the Caribbeans. If you compare the Caribbeans, yes, Bali is beautiful. Jamaica is vibrant, but neither of them gives you a direct connection to African history, you know? So when you go there, likewise here, we have beautiful beaches. Ghana's coastline is very beautiful. We have very deep culture and history, and very affordable as well. So African food, African music, African root, all in one trip. Ghana does all for you. And it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be very easy and affordable. Okay. When you go to Europe, people will choose and prefer to go to Europe because of all the narratives, the negative narrative that they've heard, they want to go to Europe. But I will say, if you want value for money, come to Africa, come to Ghana. Okay. The level of history and the level of connection that you would get, you will not get in Europe. Okay. And it's less crowded. If you go to Paris, if you go there, it's very crowded. But when you come here, it is different. People would prefer to want to go to Dubai, comparing Ghana to Dubai or Africa to Dubai. If you want real, authentic cultural heritage, authentic cultural immersion, come to Ghana or come to Africa. Dubai is all artificial, but Ghana, very natural. It's beautiful. The vegetation is beautiful. Okay. And comparing it to other African countries, I'll say that Ghana is an English-speaking country. And it's one of the best things that most people overlook. I have been on tours and I've been on cruise ship tours. And some of the people will tell me, Daniel, your English is very good. Oh, where do you school in England or somewhere? And I tell them, no, here in Ghana. In Ghana, from basic education all the way to the university level, English is taught in our schools. English is the things that we use. So everywhere people can speak English. It's easier for first-timers. So if you come because we speak English, it's easier for first-timers. Safety and stability. There is no crime, violence on the streets. In other places in Europe, you can testify. You will not hear in the news that somebody took out a gun and shot someone. No. So we are a very stable country. Okay. And then, like I mentioned, very warm and friendly people. This is where you have to be. So as we've mentioned, if you compare Ghana to anywhere, Ghana far outweighs a lot of these places, depending on what you are looking for. Okay. If you are somebody who wants to see the wild animals, okay, then you want to go to a place where you could go to the safaris and everything. Yes, Ghana do have wildlife. Okay. When you go up north, we have one of the biggest parks, which I'll talk about. And there you can see some of the big five. But if you want real culture, real authentic experience, then you have to come to Ghana. So I want to say, who is Ghana really for? Okay, who is Ghana really for? Ghana is for you if you are seeking your African root or heritage. If you are searching for your root, if you are an African ancestry, you have an African ancestry and you've never set foot on this continent, Ghana is for you. Okay, if you love culture, if you love history, if you want to learn, if you want to experience a authentic way of life, most people with African roots, okay, have heard stories of their ancestors talk about it. And so they want to connect. This is where you have to be. In general, if you are anywhere from any place, whether you are Caucasian, anywhere, but if you want to really learn, if you really want to connect to the people, Ghana is where to be. Okay, Ghana will change your life. If you want adventure and relaxation, we have all of that. If you are somebody who loves food, okay, I can tell you, I have been to places and Ghana's food is one of the best. Yes, unless you are somebody who do not like spice. You know, here in our part of the world, we like spice. But then I can tell you it's very flavorful. And so if you are a food lover, if you want to experience Ghana's food, you want to be. If you want to feel welcome and safe, Ghana is where you want to be. Just on a lighter note, you want amazing photos, okay? And you want to experience it and you want to show it to people. You want to post it on all of that. Ghana is going to be where you want to be. Even if you're a solo traveler, I see one of my solo travelers here on the call who I've gone with. I salute you, Kemet. And it's been amazing. If you've come on a solo trip, it's very good. If you come with families, Ghana is where to be. With friends, Ghana is where you want to come as a group, as an organization. Ghana provides all of that. Okay. If you are celebrating something special, maybe it's a honeymoon, a milestone, an event, your sorority, or your anything that you have, an organization, you can experience Ghana. Okay. I hope I am meeting some of the things that you came here with. Keep your chats coming, keep your comments coming. We would read them all as we continue. So I want us to look at, when you come to Ghana, what can you do? What can you do? What are the things to explore when you come to Ghana? And the first thing we want to look at, like I mentioned, this monument, this UNESCO World Heritage Sites, is a must-see. You know, the castles and forts of Ghana constitute treasures par excellence. This is what I want to mention. Like I mentioned, Ghana's coastline is dotted with lots of forts and castles, over 40. And these are real evidence of some of the things that happened way back in the 13th and in the 14th century, all the way going. And so you do not want to miss them. And so on top of that, you have the Elmina Castle and the Cape Coast Castle dungeons. The Elmina Castle is the first one that was built by the Portuguese in 1482. And then you have the Cape Coast Castle, which was built to its present state by the British in 1610. These places would surprise you. Let me tell you, I've had people who have taken on tours to these places. If you go to the Elmina Castle, you actually go underground to a room called a room of no return, where you actually get to see the original door of no return, very narrow and short. And anytime I've taken people in there, they never come back the same. Some people have told me how they could hear the voices of people in the dungeons. Some people they shed tears. The connection there is so strong. In Cape Coast Castle, President Obama and Michelle Obama visited. Michelle Obama believed that her ancestors might have gone through the dungeons. And so when you go to Cape Coast Castle, there's a plaque of the first family on the wall of the male slave dungeons. Cape Coast Castle dungeons has a very big dungeon. It could hold 1,000 male slaves at a time. It will surprise you. There is real evidence. You know, people have tried to tell us, oh, we should take it down, the history and everything. But no, how can we take out evidence that proves things that happened to the African race? Okay, and in Cape Coast Castle, we also have the door of return. And so you need to be here. These are places that you have to be. Also, if you are somebody who is into wildlife, Ghana has all that. We have natural parks and wildlife. And like I mentioned, if you want to see wild animals, go all the way to the north. And this is where you get to the Mole National Park, where you can see this savanna elephants, one of the huge animals on earth. Okay, and it's beautiful. And here you can actually get closer to these animals. And this have to take you all the way to the north. You can fly to the north. It's just from Accra, which is the capital, to the north is about an hour flight. And then you drive to the park, which is in half an hour. So 30 minutes to drive to the park. And then you get to experience that. We have that. If you are in the south, you can go to the Kakum National Park. This is where we have the canopy walkway or the canopy bridge. It's beautiful. And, you know, going on top of it, yes, it's for those who love adventure, those who love fun. There you go on top of the trees, you see the beautiful forest area, bird's eye view of the forest. It's very beautiful. And we have the Shire Hills Game Reserve. These are by a few of the places that we have, which is all beautiful. We have countless waterfalls, various sizes, various shapes, cascading. We have what we call the Willy waterfalls. This is the tallest waterfall in West Africa. We have the Twin waterfall, the Boti waterfall, and the Kentampo waterfall. And they are all beautiful and amazing. You cannot miss them. Different seasons, different times, you get to experience these waterfalls if you come to Ghana. And like I mentioned, beautiful beaches. okay, where you get to relax, you get to soak the sun, the sand, the sea, and connect, okay? And especially if you are in the Cape Coast area, in between that places, that's where you have the dungeons. There you can connect as well. And so it's beautiful. Apart from that, if you are somebody who loves festivals and events, Ghana have all year round festivals. I'll mention a few. One of the festivals that happens every year, multiple times in the year, is the Akwesi Dai Festival. This festival is celebrated in the Asante region. And it's celebrated every 42 days. So every 42 days, people gather in Menchia, which is the palace of the king, to pay homage to the king. And every 42 days, this festival happens, and people gather, music, dance, the pageantry, and everything. Very beautiful. If you are also a diasporan, we have other diasporan events that happen over the year. We have the Black History Month that happens in February, where we lay wreath at W.E.B. Du Bois Center. If you've heard about him, Du Bois came to Ghana, died here in Ghana, and is buried here. So we mark that year. So Black History Month also as well. We have Panafest, which connects to what we have called the Emancipation. This is also when people come. This is usually celebrated in August, okay? And then we have the most famous, what we call Dirty December or Afrofuture. Now it's the big thing. If you are people, the young people are coming to Ghana for Dirty December or Afrofuture, during December, all year, throughout the entire month, there are various events lined up by the ministry and then the Ghana Tourism Authority that showcase Ghana in different areas, culture, entertainment, different things, all of that happening. So what are the top 5 things that when you come to Ghana, you need to do? Like I mentioned, you need to visit the dungeons, as well as you need to visit this one. This is a must visit, the Asin Manso Slave River site. I would play a video getting to the end of somebody who went there and their experience. This is the place where our ancestors had their last bath before they were transported to the dungeons. You need to visit them. You also in the Cape Coast, all these are found in the Cape Coast or the Central region. If you are somebody who loves adventure and not scared of heights, you need to visit the Kakum National Park or Rainforest. As well, you need to experience the city. A lot of people come to Ghana and they don't get to experience the city. So I like to say you need to go on a city tour to see the various national museums, national monuments, art and crafts market, the Makola market. These are places that you need to see and connect. You will connect with the people. That is the thing that you will hear the history and all of that. And then you need to experience some nightlife in Ghana. Like I mentioned, we have the Labadi Beach, we have the Osu, we have Dirty December. These are events that you could go and nightlife that's going on that you should experience. So we are rounding up. I'm sure your comments and your questions are coming. The next thing I want to talk about is what can you do if you are coming, let's say for 8 days or 10 days. So I want to show you a sample itinerary that I'll walk you through, quick one, and then you have an idea of what to do. So when you arrive in Ghana, we will welcome you. It's your first time. We'll welcome you. You'll be met at the airport by our team, and our driver will take you to your hotel. We'll give you a very nice refreshment, and then you check in the evening, depending on the time. We will have a welcome dinner, all of that. Then day 2, we have a city tour of Accra, where we'll give you kind of an orientation to Ghana. You get to visit the Kwame Nkrumah National Mausoleum and Park, the burial place of our first president. Then you also get to see other national sites as well. Then day 3, we go to Akosombo. Akosombo is east from Accra, and that is where we have one of the largest man-made lake in the world. And there on our way, you can experience some bead making. That's real traditional way of making beads from recycled glass. Then as well, you have a boat cruise on the Volta Lake. This is very beautiful. As you cruise on the lake, you get to see various hamlets and villages across the banks of the lake, which is very beautiful, very serene. We have mountain ranges, very beautiful. And then day 4, we will go to the Abri Botanical Gardens. This is one of the beautiful gardens that was planted during the colonial period by the British. But the thing is that now over the year, it has been created by Ghanaians. And in the gardens, we have different trees and plants that have different medicinal properties. So you get to see that. And then you also get to try chocolate making. Let me let you know that Ghana produces the best cocoa in the world. Do you know that Ghana is number 2 world's largest producer of cocoa? So if this week you have eaten chocolate, I can say that you have tasted Ghana. Okay. And the reason why I say Ghana's cocoa is the best is that our cocoa, the way it is processed, gives it a high quality premium. You know, in other places, they will use other artificial means, but in Ghana, we use the natural things that we have for our cocoa. And so it comes out premium and very quality. So most chocolatiers and most chocolate factories would always want to have Ghana's cocoa to mix with the other cocoa so that they can have some quality in that. So we get to do that. Then on day 5, we would move from Accra to the central region or Elmina. The drive from Accra to Central is usually between 3 to 4 hours, where we will get to visit these UNESCO World Heritage Sites that I talk about. Okay, then day 6, we can visit the Kakum National Park, and we'll also visit the Cape Coast Castle Dungeons. Day 7, we will move from the coast and we'll go inland. And on our way inland, this is where we make a stop at the Asin Manso Slave River sites that I talked to you about, where you actually get to walk on the path our ancestors walked on. There are stories at this place which you will hear will change you. Okay. So after that, we will head to Kumasi, the Hut. And at this time, we are on day 8. And this itinerary we put it together, or we've created it in a way that on day 8, we have what we call the naming ceremony. You know, in Ghana, when a child is born, we do not name the child after the 7th day. So on the 8th day, that's when we name the child. And so if you come, if you're a diaspora and you come and you do this type of itinerary on day 8, you are retaking back the identity that was stolen. A lot of our people who were taking their identity, their culture, their name was taken. And so when you come back, we want you to experience this. We do a naming ceremony for you where you get your real Ghanaian name at a place by the chiefs and the people. They will give you a name that connects with the people. And usually we'll use the date of birth and then the other names that the chiefs will consult the ancestors and they would give to you. So you don't want to miss it. And so that would be like a rebirth. Then day 9, we would come back to Accra as well for your last minute shopping, your farewell dinner or anything. We'll do a debrief. We'll talk about your experiences. And then day 10, you leave. So that is a quick sample itinerary. If you are interested in this itinerary, you can put it in the chat. You can let us know. We will be able to create something like this for you if you are coming to Ghana. It's one of the best things and experiences that you could have. So one other thing that you also want to look at, I'm sure that people will be exploring, where can I stay? What are the options? Ghana we have various accommodation options from 5-star all the way to budget. Depending on your budget, we are able to do so. So I'm going to show you a few of them. Okay, we have different ones. These are a few of them that we work with, different few of them that we could recommend. So for 5-star, you can see here, we have the Kempinski Hotel, we have the Movenpick Hotel, and then we have the Marriott. Okay, these are all international ones. But this one, Labadi Beach Hotel, this is the first 5-star in Ghana. Actually, it is owned by Ghanaians. When I say owned by, it's owned by the state. And when I say the state, every single pensioner contributes to this. And it is one of the best 5-star hotels we have. It's called the Labadi Beach Hotel. It's close to the Labadi Beach, the beach in Accra. They have their place. And those people that have taken there have always loved it. And you don't want to miss it. So there are options for you, 5-star hotel. If you're looking for 4-star, we have that available as well. We have the Accra City Hotel. We have the Lancaster. We have one in Accra, one in Kumasi. And we have the Sweet Spirit Alisa Hotel. These are all chain hotels that we have as well. We have 3-star hotels as well here in Ghana. We have the Oak. We have, if you go to Cape Coast area, we have the Coconut Grove Beach Resort. This resort is right on the beach. Okay, it's in between both dungeons, the Elmina and then the Cape Coast dungeons. And so you arrive there. And it's one of the places where you could connect. You can walk on the beach and all of that. One of the best places that we have. Okay. So at this time, I want you to see this. I want to show you this of different groups that we've had. I like to say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And these are faces, smiles of people that we have taken all over. And their experiences, you could see them. And so you could connect. And so we want you to see what people, this is not like a Photoshop or anything, but these are real people who have gone and their experience that they've had. So I'm going to share a video with you of somebody who went, and then you will hear from them, so that it will not be all about me talking, but also you would hear from others who have gone with us on this tour. So kindly let's watch this.
Expectations of the trip to Ghana.
Really what expectations I had was that this
Expectations of the
culinary shopping extravaganza. Like, I was gonna spend all my time eating and buying things at the craft markets.
and what really happened. Trip to Ghana.
This is why
Sorry, just a minute.
I got connected to my roots. I found my history. And my life is never going to be the same after this trip.
One of the most compelling experiences that you on this trip for you.
The most compelling experience on this trip was Austin Monso, when we walked the path that the ancestors took to their last bath. I really had the experience that I was surrounded by my ancestors, and I saw butterflies.
Thoughts that you want to stay here.
I just can't wait to get back. And I mean, here home. Like, this is the first place that I've traveled outside of the United States. I actually feel like I belong. There are people that here that look like me, that have my facial features. Like, it's just a completely different experience to be a person.
All right. Sorry, let me play this again. I'm sure we missed it, so that we could hear it properly.
Expectations of the trip to Ghana.
Really what the expectations I had was that this was going to be like a culinary shopping extravaganza. Like, I was just going to spend all my time eating and buying things at the craft markets.
And what really happened.
this is why I got connected to my roots. I found my history, and my life is never going to be the same after this trip.
One of the most compelling experiences that you on this trip for you?
The most compelling experience on this trip was us in Manso, when we walked the path that the ancestors took to their last bath. I really had the experience that I was surrounded by my ancestors, and I saw butterflies everywhere, which for me spiritually, I believe that when you see a butterfly, it's a loved one come back to put a smile on your face. And I literally saw more than I could count on that walk.
And then who do you want to see on this tour?
So the two people that I can think of that I want to see on this tour are my mom and my daughter Taya. I believe that it would really ground my mother in a lot of ways. And for my daughter, I just really want her to be able to connect with her history and her roots and see where she actually comes from. And then it's for anybody with even one drop of African American blood, and anybody else, because the history here is not what they teach in school. I feel like I got a master's degree in African studies in the span of 7 days.
Anything else? Any closing thoughts now that it's your last day here?
I just can't wait to get back home. And I mean here home. Like, this is the first place that I've traveled outside of the United States where I actually feel like I belong. There are people that here that look like me, that have my facial features and my hair, and like, it's just a totally different experience to be immersed in a place where your genetics are so evident.
Would you say you're never gonna be the same?
I am definitely never gonna be the same, and I will be back.
Yeah. So this was in 2022 when we had a group come to Ghana. And it's been a great time with them. So there's one more that I want to also share as well. You can watch more of this on our YouTube page as well. And then you get to experience it as well. So this one as well, and then we'll continue. We have a few minutes. We'll take your Q&A very soon.
My name is Myrna. I am here in Ghana visiting. It's been an amazing day. So many things to absorb and, remember, and also make a connection with our culture, our ancestors. There's so much that we have in common. It's one thing that we learn back
Okay, so yeah, so like I mentioned, these were some a few people that who've gone and their experience with us. So like I mentioned, at the end of this webinar, we are giving an exclusive offer for people who have attended. And so if you have joined us, I would like to say that you get 200 off your trip with us. You also get, if you are joining us and you book and then you are coming, so it doesn't matter whether it's next year. Once you book this year, any of our tours that is 7-day plus, you get 200 off your trip. And then once you come, we have a special free Ghana travel journal so that you can write all the memories and things. And then the side of it has a phrase of one of the local language that you could learn as well. So you have to come to Ghana to benefit this. Then as well, this is before you come. We are giving anybody who wants to come in December. Like I mentioned, December is one of the high seasons we have in Ghana, but it's one of the best time if you want to come. Many events are happening, and so we'll help get you a priority booking. We need to secure your hotel and everything now, and so we get that. One thing I missed, I forgot to mention, is that we also have partners with Airbnb. So people who have Airbnb. So depending on what type of accommodation that you are looking for, we can arrange for a very nice Airbnb apartment where you could stay. Okay. Then you also get a 30-minute free consultation call with us. We'll help you plan your itinerary, we'll help you plan, answer all the questions that you need to do. And this is what you have to do. You need to get this code now before we move from this screen. And a few things will be put in the chat, our link as well. So if you have joined us, this is the code that you need, ETT Webinar 2026. Then you get to enjoy this offer. Like I mentioned, you are getting $200 off your first trip with us. You can book, you have to book now before the year ends, okay, to enjoy. So if you're booking and you're coming next year, it will still apply. So you need to book now before it ends. So we are doing that now. So if you send us an email or anything, this is how you can reach us. We have a link, the details that we put in the chat. Just pick it up and also visit our website. On our website, also, we have a blog, which we've named it Stories, where we've actually put together Travel Guide 2026, everything you need to know before your trip. Visit that link. Okay, it has everything from visa application, budgeting, currency, culture, everything. Okay, you need to get that. So that is what we have. So all of these details are in the chat. You could pick it up and then you could look at it. All right, so I have finished talking. We have just a few minutes to end, but we'll take some questions that have come. It's Q&A. I would first take a few questions that have come in the chat, and then we would proceed. Okay. I will let my colleague Jeremy help me with that. The questions that have come in the chat, and then I will try and answer them.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. So we have a question from Tabitha. She's asking, what is the maximum group size we can handle?
All right, Tabitha. So we are able to handle from solo to as large as 30, 60 group. We have coaches, okay? So the maximum we could do about 2 coaches. We have other guides that we work with. So where we can do accommodation, we have the hotel facilities, have all of that. So once you let us know the numbers, we'll put together and all of that for you. So if you are coming with a group, just let us know. For groups, we have special arrangements and special things that we want to do with groups. So just send us an email and everything. We could talk, book a meeting with us and we'll talk. But like I mentioned, we can handle from 30, 60, 100 going up. However, depending on the dynamics of the group, we are able to make sure that everybody have a very unique and wonderful experience. All right.
Okay, so Maria is also asking, is the itinerary all-day travel? And she also wants to know what the hotels are like. How large are the rooms? Is it 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom?
Okay, so Maria, so let me start with the hotel types. So we have different types. So we have hotels that have, if you are a solo person or just a single person, usually the rooms we use have what we call the queen size beds or king size beds. Then if you are two, sometimes you might have people who are not, they are in a group, but then they are sharing a room. So we have twin beds. That's 2 beds, that's a double bed in a room where they can share. So we have different ones. Then if you want to upgrade, we have rooms that will give you what we call deluxe rooms, especially for some of our 5-star and 4-star, they have deluxe rooms and then executive rooms. So depending on what you want, we have that. Again, for other itinerary, our itineraries are created based on what the group wants. Some of our trips are different day travels. So sometimes we have 2 days in a place, 2 days in a place, if you want to experience a larger sense of the country. However, if you want to be based in Accra, which is the city, you are able to travel to places where the drive time is not too far. So, example, going to the central region where we have the dungeons, the drive time is usually between 3 to 4 hours drive one way. If you want to go to the Ebri, the drive time is just like 1 hour away. If you want to go to the Akosombo, it's about 2 hours away. So those ones, you can do it. So depending on what you want, we can do that. But if you want to go to some of the cultural center, like the Asante region, okay, you want to experience real authentic culture, Asante, that is a longer drive. So that will take us about, let's say, 5 to 6 hours drive, depending on it. If you want to also experience wildlife, that we have to go all the way to the north. That usually I would recommend flying. So we'll go by a domestic airline to the northern region, which is an hour flight, and then you get to drive 30 minutes to the park, and then you get to experience that. So that is how some of our itineraries are. So let's talk, and then we'll be able to tailor make the perfect itinerary for you. Jeremy, any other question? I hope I answered this question.
Yes, so there's a question from CAB. She's asking if there's an extra hotel charge for solo travelers. And then Marie also has a follow-up question. She's also asking what's the price for the entire trip? And also, how do we handle people who are handicapped?
Okay. All right. So let me say that for the solo, we usually, our packages come in 2 forms in terms of the costing. We have what we call the single supplement. If you just want to be by yourself in a room, then you pay the single supplement cost. If you are sharing, whether you are a couple or 2 people sharing a room, we have the per person sharing, that's a double occupancy. So that's the type of pricing that we have. If you are just a solo person coming, you are just by yourself, so you pay the full price. But if you're in a group and you just want to be by yourself in a room, then you pay the single supplement cost. So that's what we have. Then also, like we have, if you come, Jeremy, let me know if I have missed one other question.
Okay, so the price of the trip.
Yes, so pricing tailored. And I could say that Jeremy will put in the chat a link that has everything. We have our packages that are going, different types from 8 days, 7 days, 10 days, 12 days, different itineraries, various pricing. Typically, our pricing, Ghana pricing, is usually ranging from, let's say, 2,500 to 3,500 US dollars, 2,500 to 3,000, depending on the type and various factors. One, accommodation would influence your pricing, and the number of days will also influence your pricing. Most of our tour packages would be inclusive of accommodation, your airport transfers, picking up from the airport and then dropping you off when you're going. It also includes some meals as well. Breakfast is always included. It's always bed and breakfast is always included, except you want to be in an Airbnb where you want to prepare your own food. However, even with that, we are able to arrange for a private chef for you as well. So these are factors that we cannot just give a price. But for the ones that we are running now, especially 30 December, check out the link that is put there. If you are coming in December, you have that. We also have other West African tours, the Ghana, Togo, Benin tour as well. Pricing will be put there as well. The link to the package will also be put there as well. You could check it out and you could look at it as well. Yeah. Any other question? Okay, so handicap. Yes, we do help. We do have people handicapped, especially if you are coming and you have aged people. So we can arrange for wheelchairs, and then some of our places that we do have are accessible for wheelchair people, and so we provide that. And you will always have a guide and a host with you on the tours to support that. So always so that you experience it. One of the challenges is for handicap, probably depending if they are not, they will not be comfortable with long drives, then we'll do the short ones. I would recommend the short day trips. These are the very ones that you should do. However, we do have that. So once you let us know if you have anybody who is coming with handicap, we can arrange for a wheelchair and anything that will help them feel comfortable to be able to experience Ghana. Yeah.
Okay. Tabitha also wants to know if our prices are net prices. And there are a couple of questions coming in as well, so we would also address them as we go.
All right. So yeah, for us, especially if you are a tour operator or somewhere travel agent, our prices are net. But I'll say get in touch with us. We are able to put together something special for you. But most of our prices are net, and which you can use that. But if you want something special, I would say reach out to us, and then we'll arrange something beautiful, something which you can do. All right.
Okay, so we also have a question on visas, getting a visa. Person is asking if you can help getting a visa, and do we have to give our passport in order to get a visa?
All right. So for visas, Ghana has various ways for which you can come to Ghana. Yes, the standard way is the regular visa. If you're coming from the US or anywhere, you have to apply through the embassy. And if you're American applying through the embassy, you have to fill a form online. You have to get your invitation letter. You have to get your accommodation where you'll be staying as, if it's a hotel, that you have to get the confirmation as well. And you have to provide the itinerary as well. And you have to pay the fee. Then you have to mail your passport to the embassy. Then they will check and then a stamp, and then they will mail it back to you. You choose the mailing service that you want to use. So they have various ones. So you have to go to the link, then you do that. Then we also have what we call the visa on arrival. This, you don't have to mail your passport. This, we will actually do it on your behalf. What we need is we will need your flight itinerary to determine your arrival and your departure, and we will apply here in Ghana for you. And then a few days before your flight departure, we will send you your visa on arrival confirmation letter, which you will use to board the flight to come to Ghana. Once you land in Ghana, you will go to the immigration officer at the visa arrival section, then they will stamp your passport, and then you are in. So that is one option. The third option, which is a recent one the government of Ghana just put, we have an e-visa section. And so the government of Ghana has rolled out an e-visa. So if you're coming to Ghana, you can just apply online, depending on what you want, whether it's fast track or any number of days you are spending, a number of days that you wanted. You pay the fee, they process it, and then you get the confirmation letter, which then you will use so that when you arrive in Ghana, they stamp it. It's very similar to the visa on arrival. So all of that, we help you do that. Depending on what you do, we'll provide you the necessary documents that you will need to get that. So that is on our visa section. I'll say that go to the blog page. Everything you need to know, a travel guide, has every detail, the link to the visa application for whether you are applying to DC or New York. These are the two places where we have visa sections for the US. The link is there. So you need to choose specifically which is nearer to you, and then you apply through that consulate, and then you're able to get your visa. So that is what it is. Yeah, any more question we have? We'll take a few more, and then I would open, if anybody wants to share anything, I'll allow two people to talk and share anything that they've had before we go. If you've been to Ghana before and you want to encourage somebody who has not been to Ghana before, and you want to say that, you have just 2 minutes to do that. I'm taking only 2 people to do that, and then we'll wrap up. Jeremy, are there any more questions before we open up the chat for people?
There's a question that came in that I addressed, but then I'll just draw your attention to it. So CAB says, I sew and I want to purchase fabrics. Will there be an opportunity to do this?
Oh, yes. If you are a tailor or a seamstress or you're into fashion or anything, I tell you, a lot of people come to Ghana and they like shopping, and then we have various things that you can shop. Fabrics is something, and I can tell you, if one of the traditional authentic fabric is the kente fabric, you can get it. There are various type of fabrics in Ghana which you can use as well. So if you are coming to Ghana and you want to purchase fabrics, you can go. One of the best places is the Art and Crafts Market, or even the Makola Market. You could get fabrics to buy. If you want the hand woven, that's the kente fabric, then I would say buy it from the weavers, and there you get the authentic real ones. So yes, you can get that. Then if you come in and you want to shop anything, you want to buy and go and sell African things, I say come, experience, connect. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of opportunities for people to do that, and connect with the people, connect with the suppliers. We will help you so that you get the right people, the right connections, so that you can start a business. And that is what we want to do. That's what we want to do. We want to bridge the gap. We want to help Africa grow. So that is what we are doing. Thank you. Yellow fever, yes, on the yellow fever is mandatory. If you are coming to Ghana, you need to take the yellow fever vaccination. It is something that you need before you could come to Ghana. You need it, and then it's once you take it once, it's lifetime. All you need to do is to show a proof that you have taken it, and that's it. We have that. So that's for yellow fever. All right. Okay, we are going to open the question, but before I do that, I want to say that we have our next webinar will be coming, and so this is the time. If you want to register, it will be in October, and we want to talk about how to plan your first Ghana cultural trip, tips, insights, and expert advice. So if today got you curious, next time we go deeper. How to plan your first Ghana cultural trip, tips, insights, and expert guidance. Register before we close. The link is put in the chat, and then you can register for that as well, and all of that. All right. So we'll say thank you. You can follow us on our social media pages as well. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on TikTok, and we are on YouTube. If you go to our YouTube channel, you see various videos of some of the experiences that people have had with us, and you want to do that. So we say thank you so much. And in Ghana, we say medasi, medasi pa. But like I mentioned, I want to open the line for a few people. You could raise your hands, and then I will mute you, and then you could just share a word or two, and then we'll be out of here. Anyone wants to share anything before we go? All right. Okay, that's good. If there's nothing, I want to Malik. Unmute. All right. We have one person. Malik wants to share something. I would should we unmute now, and then you could give us something. Yes, you can go ahead. Adra,
Hi.
thank you for coming.
Hi, Daniel. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
I'd just like to say, don't contemplate, don't think about it. We spend a lot of money daily on a lot, and this is an investment that it's well worth it. It's well worth it. So even if it takes just disciplining yourself. It's definitely work just to stop some things, halt on some things if you need to, but it's an experience that's definitely needed. I've been coming back and forth here for about 7 years now. I've been living here permanently for 2 years, and I absolutely love Ghana. I'm from Chicago. I love it. I love it. I love it. Daniel and the entire tour crew, they are awesome people. So this is like a true story testimony of someone that's from the States, came back and forth. I've moved here permanently. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity to come and get back into your roots. So that's it.
Thank you, Malik. Thank you, Ajua. I like to call her Ajua because she's a Monday born. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Is there anyone else? Otherwise, we would call it a day. And again, I want to express my gratitude to all of you for showing up and being with us we've gone past an hour. And I believe that you've had a very good time with us. You've learned a lot. Our number is in the chat. You could reach out to us. If you have any question, our email also is there. Our website is there. We have various links that we put there. Kindly take it before we end this section. And we look forward to hearing from you again. And we look forward to seeing you on our next webinar. So on behalf of the team and Elidor Travel and Tours, when we like to give you an unforgettable experience, we say, Yeda Sepa. Thank you and have a very good Sunday. See you again. Bye-bye.